Fantasy sport fans, we've got another podcast, another divisional matchup, Roundup, however you will call it.
It's a up.
It's just an up.
It's just an up thing.
And I guess we're forced to cover the New York Jets. Seth, have fun with that.
You know what I gotta say?
Yeah? The New York Jets.
Yeah. You know, I was actually going through the team, and I was trying to find a strong point on this, and you know, some kind of upside. Yeah.
There's maybe one person.
Jet fans. 2 words. You're screwed.
You're screwed.
You will be in the last place in the division this year. You're gonna get a high draft pick in the draft next year. Be happy. That's what you get to look forward to, because I'm going to explain why. And for fantasy sport fans out there, you're going to want to shy away from quite a bit of these names. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe something goes great and something happens. I'll explain. Let's get to it.
Quarterbacks?
I'll start with the first one.
Obviously, they don't have Tim Tebow anymore.
The supposed starting quarterback as of right now, which isn't even as of right now, because Rex Ryan has no idea who is playing as starting quarterback. So, fans, do you already hear question marks with this team already fantasy-wise? Come on now. You ready? Mark Sanchez. What do you think about that?
Garbage.
I'm going to give you some stats. I was reading through some of the stats. It was mind-blowing. Not really, because I watched the games. I watched the games, and they were horrible. So these stats don't surprise me.
AFC Championship twice somehow.
Yeah, the years prior. Where did they go last year? Nowhere.
Down the drain.
Yeah, that's about it. Okay, so here you go. Mark Sanchez played in 15 games. You heard that, right? 15 games. How many games are there in a team season?
Yeah, because he got
16.
benched.
Yeah, that's right. Benched. What quarterback gets benched? A sucky one. So here you go.
I don't know. Donovan McNabb got benched, and he was pretty good.
He came back stronger than ever and then went weaker than ever the next season. So here you go. He had a completion percentage of 54.3. Ugh.
Dun, dun, dun.
2,883 yards.
Terrible.
He was averaging 6.4 yards a throw.
Terrible.
He threw...
Are you sure that wasn't rushing?
No.
6.4.
Rushing, he averaged 1.3 yards.
He averaged 6.4 yards per completion.
He threw 13 touchdowns. He threw 18 interceptions. He was sacked 34 times. And here is the golden kicker for me. Worst quarterback ever that I saw last season. 14 fumbles, 8 of them were lost.
The fumble that I remember most is whenever he ran into the back of his own player. Ran into the back of him, almost knocked himself out. I'm pretty sure that they ran the ball back for a touchdown, the defense did on that play. It's got to be the worst play I've probably ever seen.
Jet fans, you need to riot, man. You need to riot. You gotta do something about your team, man.
I'm pretty sure they're praying for Geno Smith.
Geno Smith, you know what? Geno Smith, I tell you what, this will be his rookie season. I'm not gonna be surprised if by game 4 or 5, this guy's a starting quarterback. And you know what? He will take the reins because some of these guys that are in the wide receiver core, they're young. And Geno Smith could run with that. He could do very well for most of the season. My question is, can he finish the season?
I'm still not going to draft either one of the players, but just keep an eye out on Geno Smith because you never know.
So possible sleeper on Smith?
I don't know about sleeper. Just put him on your watch list.
A watch list?
Your watch list.
All right. So let's move on. All right, here we go. Ooh, you know what? Exciting news. We have a developing story in my notes here.
Yeah?
running back Chris Ivory to the Jets a few months ago.
From the Saints.
Chris Ivory, I think this guy's going to be an animal. I think this is going to be one of their only key playmakers.
He is definitely what you call a sleeper pick. And I don't even know if he's going to be considered a sleeper pick anymore, but I probably would not want him for my number 2 guy, but as a utility receiver, that's where it's at right there.
As a receiver?
No, running back,
Running back? Because that's what he's listed as the number 1 running back on the depth chart.
Yeah, no, he's going
now.
to be the number 1 running back for sure.
I think he's going to tear it up.
But I just don't know if I would want him as my number 2. I want him as a utility player.
Let's back this up, because this falls into running backs. You looked at Mark Sanchez's sacks, 34. Okay, is that due to the O-line or just Mark Sanchez being just a horrible quarterback?
A little of both, but I'm leaning more towards Mark Sanchez just sucks.
Oh, okay, there you go. Okay, so Chris Ivory could very well do well. I mean, Sean
bad.
Green wasn't horrible last year. By the end of the season,
No, he
was putting double-digit figures in fantasy.
He had a decent year, and I think Chris Ivory's way better than Sean Green.
Okay, so they did acquire Mike Goodson. Last year he played for the Raiders. He had 221 yards. Obviously, you had a lot of tangles up there in Oakland. You had Mike Goodson at one point. You had Darren McFadden. I don't even know who else was there, but I think they went through like 3 or 4 running backs in the entire season. So
yeah, they
nobody
had to play
ever
their fullback as a running back, and he actually did really good.
He really did, like for like 3 or 4 games. Yeah. So, nobody really ever had a real good, legitimate shot at proving themselves, which is why you're looking at Goodson only having 221 yards with no touchdowns. But the cool part is, out of that, guess what? He had 195 receiving yards. His long was 64 yards, and it was for a touchdown.
Yeah, he still won't be drafted in any
Of course
league.
not. Of course not. But it might be a guy that you may want to throw on what you're calling there the watch list.
The watch list.
The watch list.
Watch them.
Okay, here you go. Wide receiver core. It's a mess. And it's really 3 guys. And one of them, we don't even know if he's going to start the season. Santonio Holmes.
Santonio.
Is this guy even going to play again?
Who knows? I don't know.
I don't know
It
either.
was a mistake him leaving the Steelers anyway.
I agree with that.
I don't want him on my team. I know that.
He played in 4 games. He already had racked up 272 yards with 1 touchdown. He had fumbled once, lost once. That really doesn't bother me on that end because it was just for 4 games. But, if Santonio Holmes can come back, Mark Sanchez and him actually have a good connection. And I think it could do good if he could come back and actually play. But he's got to stay healthy for Sanchez because you know who else he's throwing to? Jeremy Curley and Stephen Hill. Stephen Hill was a rookie last year.
Why do you keep saying Sanchez? You know just as well as I do that it's going to be Geno Smith as their quarterback.
Because
at least a few games in, there's no way Mark Sanchez is there's no way that he's gonna end up being the quarterback. You've seen what he can do, and it's not much. It's not much.
Yeah, it's not much.
The only reason they made the AFC Championships is because of their defense.
Yeah.
And they lost their key piece to their defense. They still have a decent one, but you've got to let Geno Smith in there and see what he can do.
Okay, so we'll check this out. When Geno Smith does come in, it's not a question of when, but if, or not if, but when.
Right.
Okay, so he's going to have Stephen Hill, who was a rookie last year. They drafted him. I believe that was their first round draft pick. He played in 11 games. He only started 8 because he already was getting injured. He had the rookie injury prone thing going on, whatever.
He had a couple good games.
Are you sure about that? I believe his first game of the season, he had like 2 touchdowns or something like that.
Yeah.
After that, he had 1 more touchdown for the rest of the season.
He had a couple good games.
All right.
A couple was 2.
Yeah, I was going to say 252 yards, and his average was 12. His long was 33. Yeah, I mean, he's going to have to really step it up and prove because Jeremy Curley is the other guy who's knocking on that door for the number 1 or number 2 spot.
Curley had a decent year.
Curley, 827 yards. 2 touchdowns. He fumbled 4 times and lost it 3 times.
Because he's a little dude, just like Danny Amendola, man. They fumble it. They get knocked out.
Hey, what's going on with this AFC East, man? They got some small dudes up in this division. I don't know about this.
Little receivers.
All right, so, that's your wide receiver core that's I mean, ultimately, what you're dealing with in New York.
And I want not a single one of them on my team.
No, I mean,
Not one.
Curly could be a guy that you get in the later rounds, later rounds, because Curly, he will come back, he will produce some numbers, but it's not going to be Brandon Marshall numbers. I don't believe they will be, because who's throwing the ball? You don't know yet.
Geno Smith.
Speculation. You can pretty much say Mark Sanchez will start the season, Smith will end it. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah, I'll just take the yeah. I'll take the yeah, then I'm right on that.
Rex Ryan, the foot fetish lover, is gonna do, man. But if I were him,
I don't know.
I would roll with that rookie that I just drafted this year.
Hey, how do you think Ryan feels about Welker being gone out of the division? You think he likes that?
Yeah, I would assume so.
I think so, right? I think if I was a coach in that division, I'd be happy about Welker being gone.
For Amendola.
Yeah, Amendola. Okay, so here you go. Your tight end
without Darrelle Revis.
The tight end, and I actually like this guy. I do like this guy because he didn't really get much of a shot, and when he did, he proved himself. Tight end, Jeff Cumberland. This guy did play in 15 games. He started 12 of them, which ultimately, when you say start, he shared time. Okay?
Yeah.
He started the first 4 downs and shared time the rest of the time. So, 359 yards, 3 touchdowns. He started 12 of these games. I think Cumberland could be more of a factor this year. Am I saying he's a number 1, number 2, all the way into a number 10 tight end? No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, I think later on this season, Cumberland could become a fantasy factor.
He might be one of those matchup guys to where if you only have one tight end and don't want to leave another one on your bench.
Exactly. Like last year, Brandon Myers was a matchup tight end. Now this year, he'll probably end up being an every week starter.
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
I mean, Eli's throwing him the ball. Eli loves tight ends.
Yeah.
That kind of came out wrong. Sorry, Eli. But, here's the thing, man. All I'm saying is, I think Cumberland could do well for the Jets because now he's the number 1 guy there.
Mm-hmm.
You're silent there.
Yeah, I'm not touching any of these players except for Chris Ivory.
You know who I'm not touching? The next guy I'm going over.
Yeah?
The kicker. Nick Folk.
Oh, God.
Hey, tell me about Nick Folk.
I don't know.
Corey?
I remember him missing a lot of field goals for the Cowboys. That's what I do remember.
Yeah, I tell you what. Check this out. 20-29. He has a percentage of 77.8 on the 2012 season. 30-39. He has a percentage of 75. I mean, it goes on.
Yeah.
71%, 75%. The only thing he was 100% on was extra points made. That's it.
And they probably didn't have very many of those.
No.
I would assume
30
not.
to be exact.
Yeah.
30 is the number. So, I mean, are you kidding me? Really? That's why Steven Gostkowski works out well. You know why? Because the quarterback can actually get in the end zone. If Sanchez, Smith, whoever the hell is going to be throwing the ball can get in the end zone, you're looking at a different type of number. But regardless, field goals, the guy's going to cost you points in your leagues.
No, he's not going to be on my team.
I'm not even drafting him last.
No.
Not at all. I'm not even going on the waiver wire on my bye week to pick up Nick Folk. I don't care if he's playing the worst team in the league.
Who would that be? I think he plays probably for the worst team in the league, to be honest with you. So you can't really, I don't know if you can do that.
Jet fans, I know you're mouthing the living hell out of us right now, but you can't disagree with this. I mean, write to us.
I don't know,
comment on us. Give us a reason why you think your team is going to do good this year and why we should be drafting your players.
It's kind of like a toss-up between them and the Oakland Raiders. I'm not really sure.
Raiders will be better.
Yeah?
The Raiders will be better. Are you kidding me right now? The Raiders have a better shot at having a positive record this year than the New York Jets.
Yeah.
They're plane left. They shouldn't be called the New York Jets. They should be the New York plane has landed and is not going anywhere. You're grounded for life.
The crash and burns.
Yeah, you're finished right now.
All
right. So defense. You got Antonio Cromartie. You still got let's see here, DeJuan Landry, Kyle Wilson. I mean, I'm throwing names out here. Quentin Coples. There you go. There's a good one. There's a good name. Calvin Pace has returned. I mean, this is what you're dealing with. I mean, I'm done. I'm done with this team. I can't even go on. Boom. That's what I got.
And that's the Jets.
Boom. Hey, Fantasy Sport Fan Nation. Be sure to check out our free exclusive daily fantasy sports sites review. Get this free 29-page report reviewing the top 11 daily fantasy sports sites only at fantasysportfans.com.